If you're self-taught learners and you're going straight into details, you're doing completely wrong because it's a total waste of time. I've seen brilliant people cramming facts, highlighting everything, and forgetting it in about 3 weeks. You're not actually bad at learning if that's the way you do things. You're just using a method for a pre-AI world, and I'm here to help you out to solve that. In the next minutes, I'm about to give you a full workflow, a repeatable system you can follow by using free tools, and I'm gonna give it to you completely for free. What's the pattern most people follow? The pattern most people follow is to find a topic, gather materials, start from page 1. You go straight to the chapters. You start directly with the material. You start reading. That's typically what we do. And when we do that, we're consuming information. We're not building understanding. We're collecting facts, not developing judgment. We're starting in isolation from application to real world, which means our brain is going to treat all that information like it's trivial. Even if the book it says that this information is extremely important for the next chapter, your brain's still going to treat it as trivial. The final result is you've spent, let's say, 7, 10, 15, or 20 hours a week studying and still feel unprepared when the time comes to use that information. In my case, you can think of someone that has been making a lot of mistakes in the process of studying efficiently, because I've studied for hours in the past. I've done a lot of flashcards, and I still had the fear of forgetting something important the day of the exam. I never trusted myself enough after studying for the next day if I had to have an exam or to be quizzed about that topic. So I had to review it 15 or 20 minutes before the exam to feel confident. The worst part is when you encounter the same concept in a slightly different presentation, you go blank, which means you're not building true understanding, which brings us to the real problem, your sequence. The way you study is not intelligent. You cannot start with details. You're not supposed to start memorizing information in your brain without a step-by-step sequence. Don't worry, I actually have a solution for you guys. It's a system that turns every study session into something applicable right after reading. It's not complicated. The system works not just for you to remember, it's actually for you to go all the way to the top where you can solve a problem. What we will cover in this video is a 6 phases learning system with the exact sequence. And the tool we're going to use as an AI tool is NotebookLM. It's the best one if we want to avoid a maximum hallucination from other chatbots. And let me know, guys, if you need a live demo of the exact system. Before we talk about the demo, I want to point out big mistakes I've seen other people do after sharing the system with them. Most skip straight to detail phase and start memorizing without context. It feels productive, but details don't stick without the bigger picture. It's like navigating a city by memorizing addresses without understanding the neighborhood. Learning is a loop, not linear. You might need to go back and forth. Okay, so here's the system. It goes by define, test, map, deepen, test again, and apply. Most do it backwards. They go details first, never test, skip the bigger picture, never apply. And if you do that mistake, you almost guarantee it's not gonna work for you. We have the phase 0. This is the phase called initial QBank. Define the territory before entering it. Put a start and an end to the topic you're about to study. How do you do that? You need to go to questions, because questions create a cognitive hooks for your brain. It's completely counterintuitive to what you used to do, but please, I promise it's gonna help you a lot, because you're gonna give yourself a hook, and a hook is always going to motivate you to fill the gaps. Your brain is gonna crave more until it gets to the answers. You put all the sources you wanted in Notebook-LM, and then you click the quiz button, and you're gonna go to answer those questions. You can have 15, 20, 30 questions. That's on you. You're gonna fail most of them. You're probably gonna get about 15 to 35% correct in terms of percentage after going through all the questions. And please don't skip any of them, because it's part of the process. Think as hard as you can with the knowledge you currently have to answer those questions. This is a very important step, because it's gonna give your brain the idea of the unknown. The fact that you realize what you don't know, it's a very big step towards the knowledge, towards what you actually want to know. So that's phase 0. Phase 1 is evaluation. This is the phase where you want to calibrate, to see, to have a feedback instead of what you learned or what you don't understand, to see the gap you have in the current state you are. You might feel a little discomfort. This discomfort is going to save you hours of studying, because things you already understand can be evaluated, and things you're missing can also be evaluated. Next phase is the big picture. Your primary objective is to get a big picture. As the name says, it's the idea that you can have a full canvas. See how many bullet points the chapter has. See all the key terms you actually have to understand first before going deep dive into the small granular details. This phase is extremely important for that purpose. And how are you gonna get that? It's by using Notebook-LM to create a mind map. This mind map, it's not the typical mind map you're gonna create after a complete full session of learning. No, that one is a little different. It's just to give you a full understanding, or to expand, to see all the big important ideas you have to go through. So Notebook-LM is going to provide you this mind map. Let's say you got 5 different main ideas in the chapter that you have to go through. So Notebook-LM is going to display that in the mind map. Then you get to the detail phase. This is the next phase where you can finally get to the granular details. At that point, you're going to learn the specific that serve the map and fill your identified gaps. A key distinction here is to understand that you're not learning randomly, but strategically. At that point, you might want to read the chapter or use an app like 11 Labs Reader to read the chapter out loud for you. You might want to go and examine the text and find key terms, key sentences, read the text without focusing too much on granular details. They make sense after completing the previous steps. And then we go back to another test. Now it's no longer the pre-test, it's a second test where we're gonna see how much we've learned. The second QBank is for us to see how much we were able to get compared to the previous test, how much new knowledge we were able to accumulate. The goal is to convert knowledge into flexible skill through transfer-focused questions. The first test was to evaluate to see what we knew before even getting into the study session. But this test is to see if we can use it in a new situation. The difference between knowing and being skilled is action. That's why we have a next step after the test, but we'll come to that in a minute. You can actually have two different types of prompt. The first type is transfer questions, and the second type is decision scenarios. Let's go with the first one. You can use a prompt that goes like, based on my current understanding and notes, regenerate 15 questions that focus on transfer and application. Include novel scenarios I haven't seen before, troubleshooting common problems, trade-off decisions between different approaches, and edge cases where the standard approach might fail. This is a very good prompt to see if you're gonna be able to answer those questions. The second prompt is about decision scenarios. Create 5 realistic decision-making scenarios that a practitioner in this field faces regularly. For each scenario, provide the context, constraints, key decision points, and a rubric for evaluating different approaches. The next step is immediate application. The goal is to turn study into action within 24 hours, where learning can actually become a skill. Most people study and feel good, but never use it. Weeks later, that new information is gone because you can no longer retrieve that information if it's not useful to your brain. I'm not going in details in how you can apply this step. It depends on you and the information. If you're learning something in biology, in history, the applications are different. However, one of the greatest technique we can use is the Feynman technique, where you prepare yourself to teach that information you just learned, new knowledge. You can try to pass it down to someone else using the Feynman technique. That's absolutely a killer one when you want to teach someone else, because it forces you to understand it, to pass it down. If you lack understanding, you lack mastering that information, it's gonna be more difficult. And in case you guys need a demo, let me know in the comments and I will recreate all those steps from 1 to 6 by using notebook. We can choose a completely new topic as a real example. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.